Bad Bunny just changed the ending of his DeBÍ TiRAR MáS FOToS era. After taking his music across the world, performing in major stadiums, and seemingly completing the international run of his tour, the Puerto Rican superstar has suddenly announced 2 more shows. But this time, he is not traveling anywhere. He is going home. Bad Bunny will perform at Hiram Bithorn Stadium in San Juan on August 22 and 23 for 2 special concerts officially billed as Cerramos and Casa, meaning we close at home. And the timing of the announcement is almost as shocking as the shows themselves. Tickets went on sale August 19, giving fans only a few days to prepare for what could become one of the most important moments of the entire era. Welcome to Pop Showroom, where the story goes beyond the headline. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button. Trust me, you'll want to stay for this. Now, let's get into it. Because apparently, when everyone thought the tour was finished, Bad Bunny decided there was still one more chapter to write. The international leg had already appeared to reach its conclusion in Brussels. The lights went down, the crowds went home, and fans had every reason to believe the journey was over. Then came Puerto Rico. Suddenly, the supposed ending was no longer the ending, and that raises an obvious question. Why announce these concerts so late? For weeks, there had already been signs that something was happening at Hiram Bithorn Stadium. Structures were reportedly being prepared inside the venue, while local fans and publications began noticing unusual activity. So although the announcement came as a surprise to the public, the preparation clearly had been happening behind the scenes. A stadium does not suddenly become concert-ready because an artist wakes up and changes his mind. There are production crews, security teams, equipment, transportation, ticketing, permits, and countless logistical details involved. So perhaps the real surprise was not that Bad Bunny planned these shows, it was that he managed to keep them quiet for so long. And that makes the choice of Puerto Rico even more meaningful. Bad Bunny's relationship with his homeland has always been central to his identity. Before the world knew him as a global superstar, Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio was an artist from Vega Baja trying to make his voice heard. Today, he can perform almost anywhere on Earth, yet Puerto Rico remains the place where his biggest career moments often carry the most emotional weight. That is exactly why Cerramos and Casa feels so deliberate. The world got to watch Bad Bunny become a global phenomenon. Puerto Rico gets to watch him close the chapter. And this is not his first massive homecoming. In 2025, Bad Bunny turned San Juan into one of the biggest destinations in music through his No Me Quiero Ir de Aquí residency. The 31-show run attracted hundreds of thousands of visitors and generated a huge economic impact for Puerto Rico. Estimates place the financial boost in the hundreds of millions of dollars, while more than 600,000 people were reported or estimated to have traveled to the island around the residency.
That means Puerto Rico already understands what happens when Bad Bunny comes home. Hotels benefit, restaurants benefit, local businesses benefit, tourism benefits, and perhaps most importantly, Puerto Rican culture gets another enormous global spotlight. Now imagine that energy compressed into just 2 nights. Hiram Bithorn Stadium can hold tens of thousands of fans, but Bad Bunny's audience is far larger than that. So the demand for these shows was always going to be intense, especially with such little time between the announcement and the performances. For fans who missed his residency, this could feel like another opportunity. For those who were there, it could become a final goodbye. But for Bad Bunny, there may be something bigger happening. DeBÍ TiRAR MáS FOToS has never felt like just another album campaign. The project became a celebration of Puerto Rican identity, music, memories, and culture. Bad Bunny took those ideas to audiences around the world without stripping away the Puerto Rican identity at the center of the music. That makes the ending almost poetic. He took Puerto Rico to the world. Now he is bringing the world back home. The strange part is how easily fans could have believed the goodbye had already happened. The European shows were finished. The international schedule was over. The tour appeared to have reached its final destination. Then Benito basically said, "Not quite."
And that is what makes these two shows so fascinating. They're being presented as the closing celebration of the DeBÍ TiRAR MáS FOToS era, but nobody knows exactly what Bad Bunny has prepared for those final moments. Will there be surprise guests? Will he perform songs that were missing from the international set list? Will he bring back elements from the San Juan residency? Could Puerto Rican artists or legends appear on stage? Will the production be completely different because this is the homecoming? Or will the biggest surprise simply be the atmosphere inside the stadium? Those questions are still unanswered, and that uncertainty is part of the attraction. Bad Bunny has built his career around making people believe they know what comes next, only to change the plan. He does not always follow the traditional rollout. He does not always give fans months of warning. Sometimes he lets rumors grow, watches the internet speculate, and then reveals the answer when the moment is right. That appears to be what happened here. But there is another reason these shows matter. Bad Bunny could have ended this era in almost any major international city. He has already performed for enormous audiences across Europe and beyond. He could have chosen another stadium and created another global spectacle. Instead, he chose Puerto Rico. That decision says more than another sold-out stadium ever could. For years, Bad Bunny has been one of the strongest global representatives of Puerto Rican culture. His success has made the island part of conversations far beyond the Caribbean. His music, performances, and public image repeatedly point back to where he came from. So ending the tour at home is not simply convenient, it is symbolic.
The beginning of the journey was Puerto Rico. The journey itself became global, and the ending is coming back to Puerto Rico. That is why the title Cerramos en Casa is so powerful. It does not need a complicated explanation. After everything Bad Bunny has accomplished, he is saying the final goodbye where the story began. Of course, there's a little irony in the whole situation. Fans were ready to accept that the tour was over. Bad Bunny apparently was not. And now thousands of people are going to compete for tickets to two shows that were announced almost at the last possible moment. Because apparently, planning ahead is optional when you are Bad Bunny. But underneath the excitement, there is a serious point. These concerts could have a significant impact on Puerto Rico. The 2025 residency demonstrated that Bad Bunny is capable of turning live performances into a tourism event. International fans do not simply attend his concerts and leave. Many travel to the island, stay in hotels, eat at local restaurants, use transportation, and spend money across the community. Two shows obviously cannot replicate a 31-night residency, but the timing and global attention could still create another surge of activity. And that is the unusual power Bad Bunny now holds. He is no longer simply selling music. He can move people across borders. He can turn a city into a destination. He can make Puerto Rico the center of global entertainment attention simply by announcing two concerts. But perhaps the most important part is what these shows represent personally. Bad Bunny has spent years becoming bigger than anyone could have predicted. He has broken language barriers, dominated global streaming, performed on some of the biggest stages in the world, and become one of the most recognizable artists in modern music. Yet the ending of this particular era is not happening somewhere distant from his roots. It is happening at home. That contrast is important. The world watched Benito become Bad Bunny. Puerto Rico knew Benito before the world did. Now the two identities meet again on the same stage. And when those stadium lights come on, the audience will not simply be watching the end of a tour. They will be watching the conclusion of an era that carried Puerto Rican culture around the world. There is still one major mystery. What comes after this? Bad Bunny has not revealed exactly what his next musical chapter will look like, and that may be intentional. An ending creates anticipation. If DeBÍ TiRAR MáS FOToS is truly closing with these two shows, then everything that follows will automatically feel like the beginning of something new. A new sound, a new album, a new era.
Or perhaps another move nobody saw coming. That is what makes Bad Bunny so unpredictable. He can make a massive announcement look casual, and he can turn what appears to be a simple concert into a cultural event. So while August 22 and 23 are being promoted as the final homecoming shows, fans should probably pay attention to every detail. Because if history has taught them anything, the biggest moments sometimes happen when nobody is expecting them. And the suspense is now building toward Hiram B. Thorne Stadium. 2 nights, 1 homecoming, 1 final celebration, and potentially the closing scene of one of Bad Bunny's biggest eras yet. For the rest of the world, Un Verano Sin Ti may have been a global phenomenon. For Puerto Rico, it is something more personal. It is another reminder that one of its own managed to take the island's sound, language, and identity to places where people once said it could never reach. And now, after all the international stages, Bad Bunny is coming back to the place that made him. That may be the real story behind Cerramos en Casa. Not that Bad Bunny needed another concert, not that he needed another stadium. He needed an ending that meant something, and there may be no better place for that than Puerto Rico. So when the final song plays on August 23, the audience will probably know that an era is ending, but they will also know something else. Bad Bunny is not disappearing. He is simply closing one door. And if he has proven anything throughout his career, it is that whenever Benito closes one door, fans should probably start wondering what he has been hiding behind the next one. Subscribe for more Bad Bunny updates, controversies, surprises, and the stories behind the biggest moments in music, because this homecoming may be the end of the Un Verano Sin Ti, but it could also be the first warning that Bad Bunny's next era is already waiting. The world thought the tour was over. Bad Bunny had other plans, and this time he's ending it where it all began, at home.